What is how we open up the show? Trio pie. What's the deal?
Hello, ladies.
Three gang.
Y'all gang
Well,
baby.
welcome to another episode. Shout out to y'all for tuning in, sticking with us. Yeah, we here. What's the deal? I'm Christy.
Smokey.
And Fallon.
Hey.
Sounds so weird saying your own name.
Besties. This is our only catch-up time though. Let's keep it all the way, but we're gonna be transparent with y'all. This is when we catch up. We catch up with each other and we catch up with y'all at the same time. So
I don't get it.
The lie she tells. What's up, y'all? What's going on? What's tea?
I feel like there's always something going on. Like I heard a really interesting frame of mind. It's Scarface. I think you have like a song, or maybe he did an interview where he talked about this, but he said you're either going into a storm, in the middle of a storm, or coming out of one. And that process is just cyclical. So going through life, like cyclically, like it's gonna be a thing throughout our lives where it's always gonna be like that.
Yep.
It's always going to be a battle to face. It's always going to be some adversity, some kind of challenge, or a seemingly like a block or a wall, but it's just a figment of our imagination, and it's really more of a bridge than anything. So I just be trying to keep that in mind as we trying to pursue all of these different things and still trying to live life at the same time. So I think we're all kind of going through the same thing, just maybe in different ways, but like, you know what I mean? Trying to just find our way.
Absolutely.
That's it. Sorry to be so heavy, so true,
because as you get older, for some you start to feel like you're pushing against time to make this happen. You know, the goals that you've had are the ideas of what you had to have accomplished by a certain age. Like I remember being so much younger and thinking that 18 was the goal, 21 was the goal. My life at 25, oh my God, it's gonna be XYZ. No.
Nothing. I thought I was going to, first of all, I thought I was going to be Beyonce by now. I thought I was going to have my house on the hill and I was going to be a superstar and I'm going to do other things and I like had all of it planned out, as we all did, like married, kids, the whole nine. But it's just life is not that way. And that's why you can always tell the youth in a person when they start talking about, oh, I'm going to be doing this. And then when I turn 32, I'm going to do that. And then before I do anything, like, girl, okay. We're gonna see. I'll check with you in about 10 years. And we'll see. You know what I mean?
Because life still happens. Like I had a presentation I did at this place called Center for Yoga in like West. It's like where Beverly Hills meet West LA. It's a really cute strip. And I was talking about like mental health and how to talk to friends that's dealing with like, you know, mental health concerns, right? Such as like anxiety, depression, and stuff like that. But one of the things that I spoke about, because I was asked the question like, well, how did you get through it? You know, and I'm like, well, you don't really get over it. You don't get through it. You just learn how to manage it because life still happens. You know what I mean? Like as you grow, it will be another obstacle and you just have to learn how to navigate and push through at the end of the day, you know? So it's not one of those things you can just, you know,
one and done.
You're healing, but it's a constant journey because as you get older and as you start to reach certain milestones or not, that's when them thoughts and feelings start to creep in. So yeah, It's always a season or a transitional period. And then you grow out of stuff, you grow into new things, and you forever possibly can start from scratch with something, you know what I mean? So that was just my
good game.
Thanks.
That's good game.
Yeah, I had a moment like that with myself the other day, and I had to kind of like just check myself because I'm like, I'm 37. Like, do I feel like I am where I'm supposed to be at 37? Right, exactly. And so I had to kind of just like check myself and just write down like, okay, this is what you've accomplished though, like during this time.
I like that.
So I like actually, instead of looking at the cup half empty, I'm looking at it like half full. Like, girl, like this is what you've done.
Yeah, I like that.
Within your 37 years of that you can remember. And then let's break it down to like, okay, how was life when you had Tori at 27? Okay, so this is what happened from 27 to like 30, and then 30 to 35, and then now the humps that you're doing or you're going through you know, being a woman that's over 35 years old. So I had to kind of like, you know, well, you've done some shit, like, and some great things, and you accomplished some great things. And of course, the overall goal, I guess for all of us is like, okay, family, you know, possibly settling down, maybe more children in the future. Now that's kind of like where I'm at. I guess that's the second part of my life. I'm just trying to hopefully, I don't want to say I ain't like looking for a man, but I'm
not looking
like,
for a man.
Like, Jesus, you hear me? Like,
right.
Like, it's me again, like low key. But you know, I'm at the second part of my life. Those are the things that I'm just more like leaning into more, and just hoping, you know, that, you know, one day the husband just falls into my lap and the relationships work out, or, you know, that, you know, the house comes, you know. So, and I know it will come with time, and everything's a work in progress. It's a daily thing. And, you know, shit, ain't no relationships just, you know, niggas ain't falling off the sky like that. So.
And you don't always get all of your blessings at the same time.
Yeah.
Like everything in our life is also very seasonal. So it's like what I've noticed in my life is, because I'm definitely like a fixer of my space. It probably is just like a cover up for control. It's a nice way of saying I'm a control freak or whatever, but it sounds cuter. I'm a fixer. Like, girl, no, you want to control everything because you don't want to be left up to chance to have to be, you know what I mean, in the passenger seat. But one thing I noticed is that once I fix one area, then something else, it's almost like something breaks on your car. I didn't fix my brakes. Now my windows need to be fixed. The motor in my windows is, you know what I'm saying? My window's not rolling up and down. Now I need to fix I need to replenish the fluids in my, you know, now I need an oil change. So there's always going to be something, you know what I'm saying? There's always going to be something that needs your attention, maybe more than the others. So if like you're saying like, damn, like, okay, now I'm focused on family. So now maybe that's getting 65%.
Yep.
Pardon me. And then maybe, you know, some other social things or other things you may have been into, maybe now get 15, you know what I mean? So it's literally kind of just moving the pieces around to what the needs are at the moment. And I think we know what those needs are based on being in touch with self and kind of knowing like where we feel like we need to be intuitively, you know what I mean?
And to piggyback, I'm happy that you wrote that down, Chris, because sometimes the wins or accomplishments aren't tangible. You know, sometimes these are internal wins that you have. You know what I mean? Where were you just emotionally? What were you at Victoria at 27? Like what type of clarity did you have versus at 37? Exactly. You know what I mean? Like it could have been throwing everything against the wall, but now you see what has stuck, what is working, what are you doing?
Exactly.
You track what you're, so sometimes it's not, you know, tangible. Like I have like a happy journal where I write down stuff that I think you bought me this book, like Gratitude of Happiness, because sometimes I know it's you know, it's through something, you know. Today was a good day. I had fun. I hung out with whoever. I'm thankful for this person, that person. You know what I mean? And it's good to look over that. I have a spiritual journal where it's literally prayers, conversations to God. You know what I mean? And I can look through certain spiritual journeys that I went through. And of course, I just write out other things in another journal. Yeah, this is a lot of writing. But it really
it's therapeutic though.
It's good to get it out, but it's also better when you can reflect, you know. So that's dope that you're able to write it down. Like, dang, I've come far. Like I
love that. And like you were saying, Mook, like we don't celebrate the small wins, but those small wins, you know, multiply, and you know what I'm saying? Before you know it, now you're at a higher destination. And you know, and a lot of the game that I've received via interviews, reading books, talking to different people that have really, you know, had their success story, I've heard all of them say there's a couple of things that's always like a common theme in the game that they give. One is always consistency. I never gave up. I stayed at it, even though, you know, the trials, tribulations, or whatever. But it's also the oh God, I didn't even smoke today. Where did the thought go? I didn't even smoke today. I don't know where it's the consistency, and oh man, it'll come back. I'm not gonna edit it out, but it's something else. It's consistency, something else. It'll come back. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, we need those tips so we can
no, for sure. It's consistency, and I don't know if it was.
But let's go. Maybe just to prop your thought.
Yeah.
He said, yes, because some of the game that I've got in interviews and just hearing people talk about chasing their goals, reaching their destination was consistency.
And the viewers, you let us know.
Never giving up with shit.
Viewers, what do you Yeah, it'll come back, but definitely consistency is one for sure, which is why we're here, everybody. You know, consistency. We're trying to stay consistent with this thing. We're trying to keep this thing going for y'all in the midst of all of the things that we have going on, which is not always the easiest
I
thing.
feel like that's just the main one though. That consistency is just
everything.
It's really sticking through everything. Money issues, family, being broke, like not knowing the next.
I remember what it was now like, too. Go ahead. Yeah.
It's really, and I guess I can say that I'm like, you know, just on my own personal journey of what I've been doing. Like I can't believe I reached 6 years of creating an annual, like 6 years. Like this just started in 2017.
Right.
Talk about music and media, everybody. Okay, so yeah, like
you know,
started 6 years ago. Like I was. Next year is year 7. Like that's crazy to me. And every year I can say, you know what, I've never really felt like I've always had the money. You know, like I've never really felt like every year is always like, okay, how am I going to do it? I always approach it every year like, okay, how am I going to do this? Well, so it's really approaching the platform every year like, okay, like, all right, July coming, let me start planning, let me figure this shit out again. And we're on year 7. So it's really just figuring it out, working through what I have, working with what I have, and just making it happen by any means necessary.
But to add to that, the thought that I had was the thing that's the common theme is they always say, enjoy the process.
Yep.
This, because what it is, what we fail to realize, we're so focused on the end goal for the things that we want. Of course, we want financial security. We want to be able to take care of our families. We want to be able to travel. We want to be able to live our lives, whatever it is that we want to do. And those of us that are truly ambitious and that have those dreams and that have those hopes, like we're focused a very, very, you know what I'm saying? We've been focusing on that since children, a lot of us, you know what I'm saying? These are things that we've always wanted. So a lot of the times we're trying to speed race past a lot of those things that you're talking about, you know what I'm saying? Going through the planning of an event and not necessarily knowing where the money is going to come from to facilitate it, or, you know, how am I going to make all of this content come to, you know, fruition, and I got to work a 9 to 5 and I got kids, or I'm trying to finish school, you know what I'm saying? In the midst of, you know, helping family, taking care of family, trying to live life, trying to do all of these other things. But that process, those steps are things that you never forget. And once you actually arrive to the thing, then you be looking back like, damn, like, okay, now, okay, I got all the stuff I did, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you think back on the journey, like, man, it was so fun. Like, man, we used to be sleeping on the floor in the studio. People have stories like, you know, we used to sleep on the floor in the studio and, you know, we only had $10 to split. Nick talks about that all the time, splitting money to go get pizzas and stuff like that, just enough money to buy, you know, some weed and go to the studio and record. Those are the things that you remember. Those are the blocks of your success. So it's like, it's actually a gift. I think we look at it sometimes as a hindrance, but they really are gifts to kind of like, you know, prepare us for what it is that we're to, you know, receive. So
absolutely.
Yeah. He spoke a lot about consistency. One of his, I'm gonna butcher what he says, but it's when he talks about, I went through every single emotion possible.
Oh, I love, that's my favorite, like line quote bar by him.
The more you're in pursuit of whatever that thing is, you know what I mean? You're going to feel those emotions, whether it's starting your own business, going back to school, you know, it could be repairing a relationship, because that takes a lot of emotion. I don't mean just an intimate partner. I mean like a parental relationship, just anything that you're trying to get, like you're going to experience every emotion to some level. So he speaks about that a lot. And speaking of him, he got his Hollywood star.
I think that's the day just felt, if you guys were outside a little bit, the day just felt so good. The energy outside was good. You know, we had the Nipsey flag in the district. I think it might have been over there in Hollywood, might have started there first. Might have started there first and then came to the hood, of course, in the district. And it felt so good outside. The energy was good. All the cars was blasting them, of course. Yeah. It felt like, it's just, I hate that he's not here. I always say this. I felt like he was just taken from us way too soon. But I'm glad that he's getting his flowers. I'm like, there's one person in LA that we don't play about. It's Nipsey. You know, I tweeted that we don't play about, don't disrespect him. Don't speak ill about him. Don't speak ill about his family. If you're going to say something crazy about him, keep it to yourself, because you might get, you know what I'm saying? Like we don't play about Nip. We just don't, you know? So I just thought it was a beautiful day. His birthday celebration, getting his Hollywood star. I want to go see it. So maybe we should make a whole little trip of it, you know?
That would be fun. That would be dope.
That would be fun. That is so dope. I think it's super dope. Watching Lauren London speak, I just feel like she has so much more life to her now. I think Mookie, we talked about this. She used to always just wear black. You know, her face just looked real sad.
Yeah.
And she still is. I think she's still healing. I mean, as she has every right to still heal. You know, you can't put a time frame on how long it's going to take you to get over something like that. That's traumatizing.
Has it been 2 years or 3 years?
3
years.
19, right? 2021, 19? Yeah, 2019.
Yes, I just made 3 years.
So I'm like, I think it's amazing that, you know, I guess he has the stores open now on Melrose. Melrose. So he has the new Marathon store. I'm interested to know what they're going to do with the one on Crenshaw and Slauson, if they're just going to completely shut that. I'm really curious about what's going on with that shopping center, because if anybody's from the area or drives through the area, you guys will see that it's still boarded off. It's still blocked. There's nothing open there. It's been closed for years. But you know, they still set up shop right there. They still selling his t-shirts. They still putting on for him. Every time you pass by Crenshaw and Slauson, you will see somebody or some representation.
They're getting those tourist dollars because at one point the people come to LA, that was a destination.
Yeah.
Even he was alive, but even in passing, people just want to see him, his big mural out right across from his store. I think it's a lot more political agendas that's going on with the flagship store. Which, you know, they're being really tight-lipped about it, but he was having, which we know that he was being harassed about it when he was living. I do know that he have his dispensary opened up, so I would like to visit the, you know, dispensary.
It's in the Valley. Okay.
And I'm excited to see like how all this is going to tie in for his documentary that he was already working on, already recording, because he was recording his journey as well. So I'm excited just to see how it comes together. You know, of course there was touching moments, but yeah, as far as the Hollywood star, I thought it was dope. And I always enjoy seeing Lauren, especially just in her new space. You know, I'm happy to see her, you know, just come into her new self, because I don't think for 1 second she's her old self. So
absolutely.
Would she speak, how she speaks, I really love. I think we talked about the Angie Martinez interview. And it was just, Angie's just great at what she does, by the way. Like, it's like people love to say it's not an interview, it's a conversation, but Angie really have a conversation. But it feels like an interview. It just doesn't, you know, the way she engaged, she's just, now somebody need their flowers. It's her, but it was, I was happy. And did any of you see the live stream?
I did not. I did catch little stories, little bits and pieces. I will go back because I heard Lauren gave a pretty beautiful speech and what she chose to share. And I'm always very interested in just kind of hearing her POV. Like people that don't talk too much, when they do, you all ears. You know what I'm saying? You know,
what sign is she again?
She's a Sag. She's a Sag. So, you know, that fire spirit, that fire energy, you know what I mean? And for Sages, they say that they're always from birth are always on a spiritual conquest. So that's why you'll find a lot of Sagittariuses that are super interested in religion and theology and, you know, kind of traveling and learning about different customs and cultures and stuff like that. So I feel like she's on that trajectory. She said that she would move now if she could. If her children weren't school age, she'd get the F out of here. So I think she has a lot of work to do. You know, just in the world.
My soulmate was a Sagittarius. I think on paper that's twin was a Sag, but I don't know.
Have you met any like amazing Sages, like Sages that
not in my adult life?
Yeah. That's crazy,
right?
Well, Ron's a Sagittarius.
Your stepdad. Only I know was DJ Artistic, girl. What's up, DJ Artistic?
I thought you meant like in my romantic life.
I did.
Okay.
I did. I was just curious.
Like 20 years ago and shit, but other than that, no.
We did an astrology conversation episode about, right? Didn't we do the astrology we need to really get Zoe into this. We need to bring Zoe on. Zoe, where are you? We need you to give your, POV on everything. But he's also very why? Okay, wait a minute. Whoa. What is this little? Oh, okay. So I'm sorry. So this is why everybody has to be in the loop.
Like, what's tea? No.
This is why everybody has to be in the loop, because otherwise, now it's awkward. It's awkward. It got awkward. Like Nori said,
you made it awkward.
No, man. Shout out to Zoe. Where's Zoe at? We need to bring Zoe on for sure.
I just don't know about the astrology. That's all I said. I don't know.
See, we didn't even say nothing.
I don't know nobody. I don't know what.
No one would know. We were just smiling.
Well, shout out to Zoe. Anywho, anyway. Okay, I'm not editing anything out. Just
okay. So,
do we have any music we wanted to talk about?
Yeah,
get straight into some of these topics.
The music. I just Nina Deuce is flooded with new content, with new music. So I want to actually shout out Eric Tucker. Eric Tucker actually performed at Music and Media. And since he performed, I actually really been diving into his music. So I featured him on Nina Deuce. If you guys go to my page, Nina Deuce _, he has a new record called Fuck With Me. It's a vibe. Like, Eric is so fire. So shout out Eric Tucker. He is featured on Nina Deuce this week. I also want to talk about Drillmatic. Game Drop. Shout out to West Coast. West Coast Gang, he dropped Drillmatic. It's like 20 something songs on the project.
It's 28 because 2 were removed. Nip and NBA Youngboy tracks were removed.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, like, I don't even know if they made 28 songs back in the day. Like, I'm trying to think. Like, that's a lot of records.
Not on one album. No.
Yeah, like, that's a lot. I think at the most like 18, maybe 20, but that's a lot of records. And I've been scheming through it and trying to get into it. And I've been hearing a lot of mixed reviews about it. And I'm just going to say that so far I like it. Like, I feel like I have to still dive into it. But it's just real, like, somebody, and I felt like this. I'm like, it's just taking me back. And I guess for me, I'm all about the 90s. I'm all about, like, the essence of, like, real artistry. I never really cared about production. I like lyricism, and I do like production to a certain degree, but I'm all about lyricism. Like, what is he saying, or what is she saying? Mm-hmm. So that's why I like real hippity hop, pop, hip hop, because I like the core of the lyrics. So I feel like Game can fucking rap. Like, I don't think I've ever really taken on his like artistry or music until now. Like, this is my first time really diving into a Game album and really kind of like, okay, he can rap. And I've listened to his, his, I guess, popular songs, but I would say this is the first time I really dived into it because there was so much talk around it. And I must say, I like it. I'm still sitting on it, but a lot of people are saying it's whack. A lot of people are saying all the hype is whack.
Everything whack.
That's why I don't listen. When a project drops, I don't listen to it right away. I wait till Twitter gets all this shit off, and then I'll go in and listen to it and do it on my own turn, because it's just, I don't want to hear everybody's opinions about it right away. Everybody gonna drop their favorite song, drop their favorite lines, and this and this and that. And then I'm like, okay, let me try to get y'all shit off, and then I'll listen to it. So
there's a really, like, a hip hop god, and he says, "Do you fools listen to music or skim right through it?" Right? Something like that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was before its time. And I feel like people just listen for quick reactions.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with sitting with music and letting it digest, because it's almost like, y'all know, stuff don't just become a hit because it drops, right? You have to work a record. There's songs that I hated, but because it was on the radio, top of the hour, every 15-minute plan, by the time I get home, I know all the lyrics. I'm singing it and shit, But yeah, I like Game, and Game can always fucking rap. I mean, I was just a fan of him from the what was his first album? The documentary?
Documentary, yeah.
Right, but there's like, that was a time, that album
LA stand up.
It was a time, you know what I mean? But I haven't really stuck with him through like the LAX and all that other stuff. But Game could always rap to me. So I didn't think his album was gonna be, bad. And it's like, shit, somebody gotta do the promo nowadays. He's been quiet, I wish we would have got the Nipsey track, but for obvious reasons, Black Sam pulled it, and I'll just let that be that. I didn't think the album was gonna be bad just because he really could fucking rap,
Yeah. I haven't tapped in. I've heard about it, obviously. you know, just piggybacking off everything that y'all said, he, you know, Game was like the transitionary between, you know, Dr. Dre, Aftermath, like, you know, Snoop and that whole era of West Coast hip hop for us. So he's our age bracket. When he came in, we like, okay, this is the new wave. And of course, Dre passed him over the torch. So it was just kind of kismet for us to kind of like F with him and rock with him. You know what I mean? From what I hear and what I think about his artistry is he should be getting a lot of more respect and flowers. Yeah. It was good that he went on Drink Champs. I think that more flowers are due, but I don't think that he is really fully standing in his maturity as an artist. Sometimes I think artists are always trying to compete with the youth. So even in the way that they dress, they talk, their production, if you're talking about production on records or whatever, your production seeming very similar to what the artist that you maybe have featured on the song, what their music sounds like, opposed to being the true big homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, you the big homie now. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of stuff. And it's not, we're starting to actually turn a curve where it's like, we're not shunning rappers anymore for not being 17. You know what I'm saying? You got Griselda, who them niggas are well over, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And they the flyest niggas out. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, there's plenty of room to fit where you can actually wear that big homie jacket and it look dope on you. You know what I'm saying? You giving it, and you can still rap. You can out rap probably half of the industry. You know what I mean? So I think it has to be kind of more about that. I think he needs to stand in that more. And I think that would probably increase his longevity as an artist in general, unless he wants to diversify and move into some other areas. But if not, it's like, if music is still your heart of hearts, like, man, you know, do it unapologetically. You the big.
It's a soft rebrand, because his LA Leakers fucking dope. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Game got online and started doing online antics, but it was a game. It worked, you know. But I think he's still like fighting so much for his respect. You know what I mean? Because we credit him for bringing the West Coast back, because it was silent, you know. And granted, the 50 Cent was booming at the time with Dre. Game just, you know, complemented that sound so well. And he is what was missing. But I think overall, he's just not as respected by the masses. I think he's respected maybe by, you know, the artist to artist, but far as like the masses, like he's still fighting for that. And it's hard when you don't have what Def Jam or Jimmy Iovine or whoever was behind you. You don't have that backing. It hit different. It sound different. Them out of pocket fees, maybe. I don't know what he pays for, but we could just tell that it's different. You know what I mean? And I just want him to get the respect that he deserves, because it seems like that's what he's screaming for without saying.
He is. One of them. It's loud. It's loud.
Let's not forget, I'm one of them ones. I was that nigga, you know, because who came next? What, Kendrick?
Yep, Kendrick. Exactly. Do y'all feel like Game could do a versus?
Absolutely.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I think he has more than 20 records that go.
Oh, he definitely can do a verse. I don't know against who though. I'll have to sit on that one.
Yeah, I guess he did a documentary. Shit, he got a song, that record with Mary Go. But anyway,
he got hella songs on those first two projects, like hella records.
It was some mixtapes. I can't even remember if Game was feature heavy. And then remember, it's not limited to your shit. It's what did you write on? So Game is behind some shit that we just didn't even
that we not even aware of.
Yeah, that's when you up in verses too. It's that I wrote that. Like,
well, speaking of verses, that's why I brought it up, child, because it's a mess. So verses obviously was something that was concocted between Swizz Beatz, Legend Swizz Beatz, Legend Timbaland, and it happened during the pandemic. It was a pandemic baby, and it definitely saved us. I mean, we all looked forward.
We loved it. Oh my god!
Oh my god! We stopped everything. Everything was stopped for us to watch it. So with the success of verses, and you know, now that we're out of the pandemic, things are starting to open back up, and so life is getting back to normal. I don't know if that was the reason why, but they did sell verses to Triller. And came out and said that Triller owed them some money, child, and they haven't gotten their coin, and they were supposed to sell it for $28 million.
Oh, wow.
And they haven't received any of their funds, and so they went public and said that they will be suing Triller as a result.
Tim and Swizz went public?
Correct.
Oh, I have not seen this, T.
Saying that they, sold verses to Triller for, $28 million. They didn't receive any funds. Triller did respond and say that that's actually not 100% accurate, and that between Swizz and Tim, they both received $50 million in cash and stock already. So somebody lying.
Well, they also said that Shirley was supposed to pay them in 2 installments, and they have not got their 2 installments as of yet. Because Triller do more than just the verses. I think they host like fights and a few other little things that they do. However, they don't know how to recoup Triller, that is, because they tried to charge for verses, which was the wrong one, and people was like, fuck out of here.
Right.
I'm not paying to see who was that group. What's their name?
It's
Cute Moesha ex-boyfriend. What group was he a part of?
Moesha ex-boyfriend. Oh,
Onyx.
You talking about Onyx, girl?
They were trying to pay for. They were trying to charge for.
They were trying to charge for like the Onyx, whoever they performed against. They were trying to charge for them.
Naughty by Nature and shit.
Cypress Hill and
it's like
Cypress Hill and Onyx. I think.
First of all, they're not even into tech enough to want to pay for that. Like, you want me to pay, then you need to get Usher and JT on the bill. Then maybe
exactly make it make sense.
Make it make a little bit more sense. You know what I'm saying? What they should have did was just take that shit on the road, because there's some few people I want.
Yeah.
They should
for sure. And they probably could have did that a couple of different ways.
And it's some rematches. Nelly had a fucked up connection.
Nelly's was fucked up. I would love to see T-Pain and Lil Jon do it again on a different platform.
A couple of people to dream. I wouldn't mind seeing everybody over one more time.
Yeah. let's maybe because like fucking Nelly, it was a fucking storm. His connection was shitty.
And Ludacris, yeah, that was good, but we couldn't get the real effect.
For sure. They deserve it. Nelly for sure deserve it. Let's not do that. Let's not.
Even what's his name? Teddy Riley Wi-Fi.
Teddy Riley. Babyface was like, when will I see you? Why when he was trying to get his shit together, nigga said that nigga grabbed the guitar like, all right, well, you know. We was like, okay, Babyface.
I'm like, oh my God.
That one needs to be on the stage. That one deserves a stage.
Beyonce had this little drinking shit.
Baby, yeah, that was so. I mean, I don't know what's gonna come from it. I don't know if obviously the brand now has changed. I think we are okay with parting with it, but I think it did open the door for a lot of the older acts to come back and, like you said, Mookie taking on the road, you know, Omarion, they've been doing it, the B2 or the Scream Tour, they've been like tapping into that market, but now you're starting to see more of the people pop out. 702 on tour right now. Maya's always touring.
Mario finally headlining one.
Mario is touring. Bow Wow, like all of the people from that era. So I love seeing that because it means that they can still eat and people still want to hear the music. That music is not dead. We still love that music. So I think the intention of Tim was on point. Hopefully they can get their money situation together, because that would suck. Because that is like their
cash grab, like because they could have did some Powered by Versus shit. Well, pause for those who needed immature asses, but Powered by Versus, like they really could have did a fucking concert. They could have did anything with that platform. When they sold it, it just felt like a cash grab to me, because it was like outside opened up. People performing. We're not really tethered to the phone the way we had to be. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like,
and I'm a real concert goer, so I could not wait to I don't care who was on tour. Like,
who was it to see somebody? Right.
I'm here for the first show.
We talked about this before. We were talking about how they're gonna do concerts and doing smaller venues. When Kendrick did Dumbo House in New York. Dumbo House, I would think that's the spot. Yeah, I think that's the spot Jay-Z said he could have bought for $2 million. Now it's like 25 or something crazy.
All right.
But he had a show, and then he went and did this little small. It could have been about 30 people, and out of the 30, maybe 16 was somebody to want to be in there with. Mm-hmm. But I would love to get to like intimate venues. Like I want to go. I want to have a little table, a little drink, and I want my artist or whoever's performing to be right there. Like
right there.
It's giving like Billie Holiday on stage with the spotlight, but more so just like a very intimate. Well, I mean, that's what House of Blues was until they took it out of LA. Which
that's true.
Take the House of Blues out of LA.
I mean, I'm talking about with no standing room. Like we all could sit down. I mean, more intimate. You know, charge what you want for it, but I just wish we had like intimate spots where we can go and hear somebody sing or some shit. Like, but we don't. When I seen it, I was like, this shit is dope.
Yeah, especially for the bigger artists, it probably would have to be a situation where the ticket price would probably be a little bit heftier in order to accommodate, you know what I'm saying, in order to be able to, justify them.
I mean, shit, that membership alone, I don't know, what is it, 25,000?
So I don't know nothing about it. That's how you know I'm broke.
It's something out of budget.
Soho House. I'm still thinking about Soho House. Everybody, the Soho House, like Soho House, like
interchangeable, I guess.
Yeah.
Concerts. So Meg Thee Stallion meet and greets. I guess she's always did that meet and greet. However, with the uproar of Chris Brown meet and greets, the cost, I think her meet and greet price point may be the same. I don't know. I didn't fact check it, but all I'm here to say is I do like the meet and greet where it feels fan favorite, where you don't just go up and you take this picture, the artist just stand there, you get next to them, they do this little thing and you move along. I do like the interaction, make it money well spent, make me feel like this is the best choice I could have made. So now what's crazy is that Chris, every tour stop, we getting the pictures from his meet and greet.
Yeah.
Which I think is funny. Somebody, they find them, they collect them and they put them up, and the quality of the photos is really good.
And it's making people want to come to the show, and that people wanting to spend their money because they want their picture with Chris too. They probably sold a lot of his stuff. Probably sold
a lot of money. I wonder how many is it capped? Like 100 or?
That's what I'm saying. It's probably 10.
10. Chris meet and greet is capped to 10, so it's about 10 racks.
They can't be there all night doing that shit.
You create little spaces, you know.
So that's an easy 10 bands. That's 10 bands just on that element. That's not the show together. That's not merch.
No, that's just an extra 10,000 for you to spend the extra hour signing shit, taking pictures, telling people to take a shot, just chilling, and then
I'm in the wrong business, bro.
Word. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? We're trying to live our dreams. Like, we could have been doing a whole bunch of stuff. Like,
like, come on now.
Fallon, you supposed to take us on the road.
I know. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get us there.
Like, bitch, come on now. Shit.
I'm trying everybody else going on the road. Like, the hell?
I also didn't do like hella like, news. It was kind of a slow news week. I didn't want to like, you know what I'm saying, force it. But Chris sent some dope topics to the group chat and I wanted to kind of chop some of those up. So one of them was, the talking stage.
Girl, you better go on Instagram so you ignore me. You be looking up everything else, Janice.
the talking stage. So I guess the question is, for you ladies, like, because it's like a double-sided coin. A lot of people, which is basically called what is it called? Y'all know what it's called.
Instagram, Denise, Instagram.
It's not the talking. No,
are you on our group?
It's not the talking stage of what is it called, y'all? The initial stage of a relationship. This is a quiz for y'all.
It is a talking stage.
You're right too, girl.
Talking stage.
Oh my God.
What?
It's like the infatuation stage.
Oh, girl.
The honeymoon stage.
Honeymoon, yay! Christian gets $10 million.
Girl, don't take me on the cab show when they ask questions.
The honeymoon
stage, which is the talking stage. So a lot of times the talking stage is that like, oh, it's fun. Oh, he called me, or he's, you know what I'm saying? It's the cute stuff. Okay, what did he say? We went on our little dates. It's not super serious. You're not really pressing him. You're not really even tripping. No energy is being exerted in a negative way or a worrisome way because it's so casual. But that talking stage also could be a thing where it's kind of like, okay, have we been in this stage too long? Or that transitionary period of after the honeymoon phase where it's off, you've actually gotten to know this person. And let's say it's on a positive note where you actually really are feeling the person. So it's not necessarily negative on that end, but now it comes time to potentially start having some of those uncomfortable conversations.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it stops being so cutesy and so like, it's like, nigga, what's up? You know what I'm saying? So what do y'all think about the talking stage? Is it something that you look forward to in a relationship? Do you feel like it's a time limit or cap?
That was my question.
Yeah, is there a cap on that? Like how long you should be talking?
How long does the honeymoon stage actually last? From experience. Christian, take it away.
Why she said with this finger too, like Christian,
take it away and shit.
Hey, girl.
Well, I don't know if I should be asking me and shit. Like, I've had trouble in paradise and shit, but
I'm done with it.
That's up
okay,
there.
well, you know what? Honestly, I feel like for me personally, and I think y'all know, sometimes I can fall a little too hard too soon. Because I enjoy the dating. I love the honeymoon stage. And I might think the honeymoon stage is a little bit more than what it really is. Right? So I'm thinking like, oh, me and this nigga about to be together in 4 months and shit. Like, no, sis. Like,
it's about to be my husband.
My nigga. Shit. Like, it's all cool until something take a left, but it's like, okay, you guys just met. Like, this is really only 3-4 months in, and it's really just the very beginning stages of a talking situation. But you know, I really can't honestly say, I guess with every situation has been different. I guess currently where I'm at right now, I'm in a situation with someone that I've been knowing for a long time. He's familiar. So I guess with somebody that's familiar, I'm like, okay, so we should probably be a little bit more further advanced because we are familiar. We've kind of, you know, we've been down this road before. Yeah. But I'm also being patient. You know, I'm not putting any pressure on anything. I'm being patient. Yeah. But I'm thinking like the time is ticking up. We kind of going on 6 months.
Why she really looked at the clock?
So maybe I should say it's time to speak up, you know, because it's 6 months and it's time to. And we've had that uncomfortable conversation about like, okay, I'm hitting the platform now. Like, you know what do you want? Do you want more kids? Do you want to be married? I'm asking all those questions up front and see what it is. So I can know up front, like, okay, so I know this is just gonna be some fun shit. If you decide to have sex with the man, then you know off top, this is what it is. He don't want nothing serious. Or if he is open to all that stuff, then you kind of know, then he's over here with the same lane that you're in. So, like I said, like right now, I'm just in a space where I'm enjoying the space that I'm in with this particular person, but it has been said like, okay, upfront what he wants and what I want, and we're kind of working towards that, which is refreshing.
Right.
So it really depends. Like, I feel like if a nigga wants you, he wants you. A nigga gonna say like, I want to be with you, or let's do it. Like if a nigga want to spend time with you, he's gonna spend time. I feel like there's no excuses for any of that. Like I'm not, you know, like all that chasing a nigga down, you shouldn't have to do all that. If a man wants to be with you, wants to spend time with you, wants to go to dinner with you, all of that, he will do that. It will be with no problem. So
yeah,
I'm just like, what are we doing?
Luke?
What was the question?
Don't do it, Janice.
I mean,
yes, like, is there a time limit on talking stage? Do you look forward to the talking stage? Do you feel like it's overrated? Do you feel like it really is kind of just like a buffer in between really getting to know the real person? Because that's the thing too, because a lot of the times that first initial 3 months, our representative is on.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're not really giving we giving that person the best of who we are. That's usually what they're getting. The most fun parts of our personalities and characteristics, our beauty, of course, because of course we come to the date super cute. They're getting all of the things, and the guy is doing the same thing for us. So it's like, is it overrated?
Yes. No. I enjoy it. Like the honeymoon stages, it's like the pre-foundation, you know, you out, you vibing, it feels good. I feel like it released those good hormones in you. And sometimes that's, you know, the happy times, because after that, when you're trying to gel and get through the ebbs and flows, you know, them honeymoon stages is kind of what can keep you. Well, that's not true. Let me start over.
No, I think that's true too, but go ahead.
Okay, I felt like I was going to get lost up in the words.
No.
I mean, I enjoy it. It feels good. You know, you're looking forward to seeing them. You know, you put on a little chapstick because they FaceTiming you, or, you know, they're the most, I don't know, considerate, or you're hanging out, you're spending time, you're getting just the best of that person. They're like the great escape. And honestly, I feel like the honeymoon lasts I think it lasts until you start to really gain real feelings, and you like, okay, is this just fun, or are we just serious? I mean, is it something serious, or are you just having like fun? So on average, I do think the honeymoon stage is just you know, a few months until you kind of figure it out. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I enjoy it. I don't think.
Are you putting pressure on it after a certain time though?
Right. Is there a time limit on that? Does that get old?
No, it depends, because sometimes, like, I think you can fall into a situation where it's like, we just clicked and we've been rocking ever since.
Right.
You know, you kind of just fall into a space, I think. I kind of think you question it when your feelings is kind of superseding what they're starting to put out. Like, this is fine, but what's up? What's up for real? You know what I mean? Yeah. At least for me, when I feel myself like, okay, we've been at this for months, it's cool, but you ain't really, you know, trying to make me your girl. At least it don't feel like, are you not saying those words, you know? Right. And that could be a little bit jaded of standing the honeymoon stage and you look up and it's like, oh, we were just cool. Like, excuse me?
Right.
Excuse me. What do you mean just cool? So this is just how you treat all your friends, you know?
Right, right.
As I've gotten older, I've learned to just speak up, to be honest, to get all of the bullshit. During the honeymoon stages is so this is what I want, what you want, you know what I mean? Like, so right. that you're accountable for anything you do beyond this point, because this is what I want. I'm not going to surprise you with no new news, you know what I mean? Right. And that's really it. But I mean, I enjoy it. Shit, because as we get to know each other and as time grows.
And let me ask you this, Fallon, because I'm gonna put a twist on the topic or question. So you've been in a relationship, obviously, for a long time.
Okay.
And so when you're in a relationship with somebody that long, and I guess these are questions, so I always ask my mom, like, how do y'all like, and we know, how do y'all, especially living together, right? Living with somebody, being with somebody for a long period of time, how do you guys keep the spark in the relationship? Like, how do you make it fun? How do you make the sex?
Well, I just had to talk with Mookie about some toys.
Like, how do you keep it? Because you know, because I feel like it felt like go out, nigga, but like, damn, you bad. You're like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily feeling bad because you do got to go home to your dude, but it's still like, we can still step out. You know what I'm saying? We can still step out. Right. And I'm sure he can too.
For sure.
And, you know, he can too, and you can too. And it's about like when you go home, how do you, when you being with the same person every single day? Because again, we always talk about marriage, but people don't really think about the reality of the situation when you're married with someone. It's for a lifetime, you know, to have to be committed to one person for the rest of your life. That's what marriage is.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, how do you, so, you know, we want the long-term relationships, we want the marriage, and how do you keep the spark? How do you keep the spark alive? How do you keep the relationship spontaneous? And how do you go home to your same person every day?
Let me get it all in.
I want to get it all in. You're taking notes and shit. Like,
that's hilarious.
I'm on the pen, the edge of my seat. Like,
all right.
Okay, I'll shut up. So go.
No, I think honestly, before, because the thing that sets that up, that makes that something, as far as just like having that spark and having that energy towards each other, it's all predicated on the friendship. And that sounds cliche, but it really is about how we vibe as friends before anything, because that makes you the most attractive. When I can sit and talk to you about whatever, when I can be my most genuine and authentic self around you and feel at peace. When you know what I'm saying? When you start having that level of relationship with somebody, it's like an aphrodisiac, you know what I'm saying? And so everything else you do to kind of like have fun and do different stuff is just extra. Because now I'm just big kicking it with my homie, you know what I'm saying?
I like that, yeah.
But I'm clearly not his homie, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, you do all of the things that you used to do. I think a lot of the times we do get comfortable. That definitely is a real thing. I definitely have had, you know, we've had conversations on both ends or whatever, like you're getting a little comfortable, you get, you know, because it's natural. And it's also a good thing, I think, for you to get kind of comfortable with your person where you don't have to feel like you got to be done up all the time, fresh haircut, just all of the things, you know what I'm saying? But you do want to take into consideration that you are that person that your partner is investing in, you know what I mean? So you don't want to take that for granted. And that's a whole nother conversation, because a lot of the times, you know, girls and guys will get mad when their partner strays or has attention set in other areas. And it's not to say that just because you do this, that, or the third, that's going to prevent somebody from doing what they're going to do anyway. However, we all have ownness in what we contribute to a relationship. You know what I'm saying? So it does take effort. Relationships is work, period. You know what I'm saying? So it's only as sexy as you want it to be. It's only as, you know what I'm saying, exciting and spontaneous as you want to be. And I think it also makes a difference too when everybody has their own thing. If you up under each other, like you said, you with each other every single day. We not up under each other every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like we really only see each other at the very tail end of the day, in the morning too, you know what I'm saying? But like at the tail end of the day. So He has a life, I have a life. As we ascend up the ladder of what it is that we're trying to achieve, he will continue having things to do, even more things to do. We might be on different coasts, different countries, whatever, you know what I'm saying? But the friendship bonds you, I think, and it really does serve as like an aphrodisiac to everything else, you know what I'm saying? Because you'll notice if you dating somebody for the first time and y'all get to doing whatever y'all doing, and it's like you're not even 100% comfortable because you don't know them.
Yeah.
You don't really know them. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no, and you don't trust them really. Like you, and it's weird because it's like, okay, dang, why would I be doing it if I don't trust? You trust yourself to know, like, okay, I'm not gonna be with nobody that's completely crazy. You know what I'm saying? I have a vibe. There's something going on. But I mean, I guess I just mean in terms of like this really being my friend or somebody that really like, care about me or whatever the case may be. I think that definitely makes a difference, and it opens you up because also the more comfortable you are, the more you're going to be willing to experiment and try this, try a little that, you know what I'm saying? Call on a little, because you feel safe in that relationship. So I think that's what saved me. And I ain't been in the talking stage with nobody, girl, in a long time. But I liked it, but I've always I don't know. I think I've always kind of wanted to be like in a relationship. I just didn't feel like I ever had the right person. And of course, you gotta make the right person at certain points in time. But that to me would always, especially if I like you. Like if I like you.
That's what I was going to get to.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I think in addition to what Fallon said, because she's absolutely right, I think the friendship ultimately is what that's the glue. It keep y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like that friendship goes a long way, especially in relationships.
Yeah.
In addition to that, I think that long as you like them, like long as you're still attracted, the little brother, that you still feel like, oh, that's my man or that's my girl, or long as you still have that initial attraction, you're going to want to do shit. Like it just, in my opinion, you know what I mean? Like, I think once you don't like somebody, it's hard to keep the spark going. You don't really want to please them. You don't care. They laugh irritates you. You know,
right.
Like you don't, it's because you can love them, but not like them. I think love them, you still get excited, like you get, trying to put on cute pajamas. Just, I think that helps.
Okay, so we're down one trio. So there was two. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. It was a dope conversation. I hope you guys are enjoying the pod. If there's any topics that you guys want us to discuss, make sure you drop it in the comments. Let us know. I do have a question for the viewers. What do y'all think about the talking stage? Is the talking stage overrated? Is the talking stage something that, should be enjoyed? And I don't know. Just let us know how you feel about it. What's that?
The question of the day.
The question of the day. Okay, do we got time for that?
No, we
will resume the question of the day on the next episode. Let us know, you guys, if you want to
go. Not question of the day. Is it Axe Trio? We have
Ask the trio. Let us know if you guys, if you want us to go live. Maybe we'll go live and do an answering of the question. I think that would be fun. Can we do that?
We need to get StreamYard. We need to do. Well, when we edit, I'll go into the rest. But yes.
Yeah, I'm just curious.
I mean, when we end it, I'll tell you when we end it.
Okay, so yeah, we'll see y'all next week. Love y'all. Thank y'all for joining us. Peace.